What's up, everybody? Today we're going to do a new product talk video, and it's going to be on this product line here, which is Mafell. As you know, this is Bill Burkle from WTB Woodworking, and I'm joined by...
I'm Maid. I'm with Mafell. I've been with Mafell since 2020, and recently in 2024 I relocated to the United States to work on the US market and introduce you to the Mafell brand.
Mafell is a brand we brought in April. We brought it in April here at WTB Woodworking. We brought in a lot of the most common woodworking tools for now. They're the ones that we're going to go over today. About 5 tools we're going to talk about today, or 6 tools today. But Mafell is a full line of timber framing tools and everything, routers. They have all the stuff that you would need to do large woodworking projects like timber framing and things like that. So we're going to talk about 5 or 6 tools today that we sell in store. We're expanding that as we do the expansion into the new area. But for now, we're going to talk about the 6 tools that we carry in the store. The first tool that we're going to talk about here is the Jigsaw, which personally, for me, this is my favorite tool that Mafell has. It's an amazing tool. You have the P1, which is the corded jigsaw, and then you have the P2, which is the battery operated. This is the 6 amp hour battery on here. They do have a slimmer battery. That's a 4 amp hour battery that we don't have with us today, but you can slim that down with that battery. The Jigsaw got a lot of unique features. Let me have you go ahead and start talking about some of those features.
Yes.
With the corded. We'll start with the corded.
With the corded one. We start with the corded one. So this one was introduced to the market in 2011. It's 120 volts, 60 hertz. We had it in the making for years. We made so many prototypes before we brought it out on the market.
7 years, right?
7 years.
7 years of prototyping.
And when people ask us why it took you so long, well, Mafell didn't want to just have another Jigsaw out there on the shelf where people just gonna wave their hand and just another Jigsaw.
Right.
So this is really innovation. Even though it was introduced in 2011, we still don't have no competitor on the market when it comes to this Jigsaw. And I'm gonna introduce you to some cool features. So one of the coolest features on this is obviously it's the Cunic blade that I'm gonna show you here. That's in the sustainer.
Now you call this the Cunic blade.
W1 Cunic blade.
But if you were to actually see this blade, it's a very unique blade. The blade on the front side looks like 2 Jigsaw blades, but on the back side, it tapers to a standard thickness of a blade, and this could only be used in their saws.
In the Mafell, correct.
In the Mafell saw.
So in today's Jigsaw, we can pretty much, or you can fit any blade that's out there from the competitors.
Right, any
Except
competitor's
this
blade
one,
fits
this is
there.
a Mafell pattern blade.
Right.
So it's not available on any other Jigsaw. And I'm gonna start talking about it. So it's a beautiful looking Jigsaw at first, but I will say it's a bit heavier than the competitors. But it has all to do with the components that you use, the materials. So Mafell, we make everything in-house. It's now close to 90% of the tools that you see over here that we make in-house. So
when you say in-house, you're talking castings, right? You're talking all electrical motors.
About the casting, that's not just the plastic, it's a fiberglass, so mixed with glass. We do that, we wind the motors, the moldings, everything, it's done in-house.
The only thing you're not bringing in is cords, right?
So the things that we purchase, are the cords, small springs, small screws, and the electrical board. But everything else, it's made in-house. So, and we have parts available for it all the time. Once a tool it's discontinued, we have a warranty for replacement parts for about 15 years. You still can get the parts out there. So let's start talking about it.
What is the current warranty on Mafell product? The manufacturer's warranty?
So the manufacturer's warranty, it's 1 year, but we're changing it here on the US market. We're gonna have it for 3 years.
For 3 years.
So it's already in the system. Basically, once the customer of yours purchases one, it's automatically 1 year, and then he has to go on the website. You have the forms to give him where he can register the tool, and he's going to have a 3-year warranty.
So 3-year warranty, which is all the major high-end brands. That's what you're getting. So it's a 3-year warranty.
Correct. We want to, like you mentioned, with all the other high-end brands, to have the same warranty system.
And you talk about you do all your castings in-house. I think you introduced the die castings in Mafell in 1960, right? So you've been doing it since 1960.
That's correct. So Mafell, it's been for a very long time around. We've been around since 1899.
So that's 126 years.
Correct.
So
Correct.
a little bit older than some of the competitors that.
Correct. Probably the oldest power tool company out there on the market, because Mafell was the first company that brought out a carpentry machine, portable carpentry machine, in 1926.
1926.
So it's.
And if I'm not mistaken, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the very first track saw was a Mafell track saw, somewhere around 1962, right?
Correct.
So
correct.
everybody's been chasing you since 1962.
Correct. There are many things. Mafell, it's all about innovation. We bring innovation, some new things on the market that have not been seen, and to make the work for the end customers easier.
And Mafell is in what part of Germany?
It's close to Stuttgart. It's about 70 kilometers south of Stuttgart. So, and we've been there in that location. We started originally in Stuttgart in 1899, and then we relocated in 1933, I believe, to Oberndorf am Neckar.
Okay.
So
we got a little sidetracked, but I wanted to get those facts out there.
Yes. So our Jigsaw, as you see, I don't know if you guys can see, it has no blade guide and no roller guide in the back that's holding the blade. And that's the reason why many people dislike Jigsaw, because they don't get the perfect 90-degree angle. So with the roller and the blade guide in the back, when the blade works, heats up and swirls to the side, and then you lost your 90 degrees angle. Correct. And we managed to put all these components up here with the motor, and there's no guide roller. We have a quick release clamp where you can put your blade in, and then you will just lock it, and if you see the blade, it's very stiff in the place.
Right.
It doesn't move around.
Now, the other feature that you get with that design is that you also get to spin that blade around, right?
Correct. Since it doesn't have no guide rollers.
Since you don't have any guide roller, you can run it in this direction.
Correct. It's very common on some markets, especially in Germany, where the cabinet, the custom furniture makers, they like to work, draw a line on top of it and then just pull it.
That's how I like to do it too.
Yes.
If I'm scribing,
So
scribing
it's
a piece
hard
of
if
plywood
you
for
have
a
to
wall.
push it away from you, but with this one you have the ability, to go under the wood and just follow your line.
Right, follow your line.
And get to the product. It is some of the key features on this. It's the base plate. It's wide, so it will give you perfect 90-degree angle. It doesn't tilt. It's in place. It stays like this. But you're wondering probably if you have a tilting plate, right? This is removable, so you can remove it and add the tilting plate to it, on which I'm going to come back later. Here, what I want to talk about, it has the motor that blows all the air out. There are channels over here where the air comes out and blows it into the base plate, and your chips come at the end out. There are some accessories over here in it. So we talked about the chip. That's the chip deflector. So you will add it at the back. Let's say if you were working, so the chips will blow down. But let's say you will turn it this way. You don't want the chips to go
Come
into
up
your
into
face.
your face.
Correct. And then all you can do is just swap it around, and the chips won't get into your face. So they will
We
go
don't
down.
have it here on the table, I don't think, but we do.
We do also have a
The dust port.
hose connector.
Oh, we do.
There it is. Everything in the sustainer. So if you're working in a shop or somewhere where you don't want no dust, we have a hose connector that you will just add to the tool and just connect your hose and you'll be ready
And
to
that's
work.
the standard 1/16 diameter that
Correct,
works with
correct.
most of the dust collectors.
The dust collectors out there. Everything comes in the sustainer, so you have everything available. Now, when we talk about
Well, while you're talking about the sliding base, one of my favorite features of the
so
sliding
that's what
base.
I wanted to talk about because some of the customers, when they work, they really like to get close to the material as possible.
Yeah.
You know, and sometimes if you're working, you know, and you're hitting it, you're not getting
Doing a
close to
notch
the
on the edge of a table
Correct.
or something.
If you're doing the notch on the edge
Up
of the
against a
table,
wall.
you don't get to it. But one of the cool features is that you can bring the blade up, and then
And then it brings the foot.
correct. So
forward.
you can the blade is up, you know, and it gets very close to the material where you can do all your cuts. It is a very cool feature. So now we're coming to our tilting plate for the tool. It tilts to 45 degrees. You can tilt it to 45 degrees. Let's say we set it up at 22.5 degrees. We lock it in.
Okay.
You make your first cut from one side. You know, you will do it. Say you need a matching cut from the other side. And instead of opening up the tilting plate, setting it again, you know, where you might just lose half a millimeter.
Right, in that little adjustment.
You will just take the jigsaw off, turn the tilting plate, leave everything as it is, attach it, and here you will have identical.
Right, and
cut from
you
the
want to
other side.
turn the tilting plate so you're keeping the meat of the tilting plate on your
Correct,
part and
correct.
not losing the angle.
Correct. And as you can see, tilting plate, it's wide enough. I'm gonna tilt it to the maximum. So now it's at 45 degrees, and I'm gonna set it at the edge, and you can see it's not
doesn't fall
tilted, it
over.
doesn't fall off, it doesn't do none of that. These Jigsaw has so many features, you know, we could talk for hours about it.
Now on the both plates, right? The
Yes.
standard plate and the tilting plate, they work with your track, right?
Correct. We're gonna come to that. So I'm gonna show you some of the accessory in a minute. So we talked about the tilting plate. We can put it in. Then we also have this one, this part.
Radius template.
Yeah, radius template. It can be used also as a parallel fence, you know, to guide it, or you can lean it against material
And use it
have
as like an edge guider. Edge
Correct, correct. It has 2 pins in it, as you can see. One is a regular pin, one is a needle pin. Let's say needle pin if you wanted to cut a material from the edges, from the outside. So you will put a needle pin in it, attach this one to the jigsaw,
Set your radius.
and then, for example, set your radius and then hold the pin, and you will get a perfect
whatever you said
round cut, you know.
for that radius.
Exactly. Now, let's say if you work on a melamine and you wanted to cut out a sink, you know, in the middle, right in the middle, so you made your measurements and everything, you will use the other pin. You will drill a hole at the center, you know, 8 mil for the pin.
Diameter pin.
Correct. And then the other one, you will drill it for the blade itself to get in. So once you, whatever the diameter will be, you know, you will set the other one pin where you will drill your hole, and you can cut a perfect circle, you know, at 90 degrees all
All the way
around.
around.
Correct. And you also mentioned, I know the audience, many people have not seen a jigsaw working on a tracks. So with the Mafell jigsaw, it is possible. I'm going to show you some. So I'm going to move some stuff around.
You want to get rid of this?
Yes. So just to be able to show it to the audience better. So you have the options. You can put it directly on the track, and you see there's some wobbling in between. But Mafell has thought about everything. So we do have a glider that's in the sustainer. You can attach it depending on what side you need it, because you might work from the other side. And you will just attach the glider in here. And now when you add it to the track, it doesn't wobble. It goes perfectly straight.
So now you're getting a 90-degree cut.
90-degree cut.
And perfectly straight cut.
Perfectly straight cut. And also the other options that you, if you need a wider radius, you can use this part. And there's a screw in here. You will attach it to the jigsaw, and whatever your radius will be, and you can attach it this way as well, and then
do a straight cut.
Do a straight cut. Correct. So there's probably not many, and this is probably the only jigsaw that can work on the tracks. The Mafell P1 jigsaw. Now this one was in the making since 2011. No, it actually came on the market in 2011. So last year we brought this one out. It's the P2, Mafell P2 jigsaw. It has a battery. It's battery operated. So for those who like cordless tools, they can get also a cordless jigsaw. It will do exactly all the same things like the P1, because we want to make sure before we put anything out there on the market, Mafell always makes sure that whatever this one is capable of, that the cordless tools are capable of as well, of doing it.
Now the battery system is part of the, what is that battery?
CAS battery system.
The CAS battery system, which means?
So there are about almost, I will say, 40 different brands on the European market that share the same battery system. So for example,
the most common here that we know would probably be Metabo, right?
Metabo, correct.
In the U.S. market, I think they would know that.
Market, correct. It will be Metabo.
So the battery pack.
Or Lamello. Lamello will have.
Oh, the Lamello, right? I forgot Lamello is part of it. So the Lamello battery pack, the Metabo battery pack, which is probably what you would see here in the States for us mostly, will work on all of the Mafell. Because it's all part of that same program.
So the differences is, of course, corded and cordless, but one feature that we have added to this one is, I'll show it to you once you turn it on. It has a LED light. So let's say when you work, you have a light in front of you, which helps, of course, while working. And then if you turn it around, the light shuts itself off, so it's not in your eyes. Once you turn it around, again, to work on the work surface, it comes on. But sometimes it requires overhead cutting, and you might want to need the light. So if you knock on it 3 times, turn it up, now the light goes on. I don't know if you guys can see it.
No, if we turn it this way.
Yes, the light goes on. So we turn it down, it goes off. And again, if you knock it out 3 times, it points again to the...
It's like magic.
Magic.
It's like Harry
Exactly.
Potter.
Harry Potter.
I mean? Yeah.
So this will be our 2 jigsaws. So we have different blades that you can fit in it, actually. You can, with the W9 blade, which is 220 millimeter, that comes to 8 inches and 6/16.
8 and 11/16 or something,
Yes,
and 8
yes.
and a half. Let's, in that
So it's a
range.
big blade. It cuts through the timber. You will have a 90-degree angle. I know, in fact, that a couple of days ago you posted a YouTube video yourself.
Yes.
And
That was the
demonstrating
6-inch blade.
That 6-inch blade,
yeah.
and you were very satisfied with the
Yeah,
end
it cut
results, right?
very well.
So there are different blades. This is one of the tools, I would say, for the cabinet furniture makers, or many in that, how would I describe it, field. making smaller stuff. But I also ran into one timber framer that had one of our
One of those.
jigsaws. So I went to visit him, you know, and he has a lot of timber framing tools from Mafell. So he came up to me as soon as he saw me. He's like, "I'm so happy that I got the Jigsaw." I was like, "Why? You normally don't use the Jigsaw." It's like he had one project, you know, with huge beam where he needed to cut out a
Radiuses
circle.
and stuff, yeah.
And you know, he was searching out there, trying different things. Didn't have the tool for it, so he risked it. He told me I risked it. I said I wanted to try it, so he purchased the Mafell Jigsaw. It got the job done, and he told me, "Man, am I happy that I have it? I only used it once, but I know I have something in my shelf that's
well, in a similar story, you know, we're doing our expansion currently for the store, and we are using 2x10s to build a structural deck. We had to notch every 2x10, and we did it with that saw. I mean, it did it no problem. I mean, it's an amazing saw.
It is. Many people. I work for Mafell now for quite a while now. I worked at the headquarters, and this is also one of my favorite tools because of, and it draws a lot of attention at different shows because people have never seen something like this, that it's even possible for a Jigsaw to do. So if you're looking to buy one, corded or cordless one, please come and visit Bill at WTB Woodworking.
These are also both, well, we don't have, this is new. We don't have this yet listed on the website. We'll get it up there shortly. But the corded one is on the website as of right now, and shortly, as soon as we can get one, in, you know, get ours in stock, we'll have that up on the website too. But this is just came back available recently.
Yeah, this just came up available recently on the U.S. market. In Europe, it launched a year earlier, so it took us some while, you know, to get all the papers and get pre-approved for the U.S. market. But we had so many back orders that sold out right away as soon as it came in. So their new shipment is coming in from Germany, and we will have it available.
All right, we're going to get set up for the next tool. We'll be back at you in a minute. The next tool we're going to talk about is the Mafell MT55cc. This is the corded version here. It is also available in the battery-operated version. Just a sidebar too is that even though we might not have these tools listed right now on our website or in store, we are going to put all the tools up on our website, and you'll be able to have them drop shipped right to you, no extra charge, right? So if I don't have it here, we'll ship it direct from Mafell. 2 to 3 day turnaround, and it'll just drop ship right to you. Getting back to this, so we did mention earlier, Mafell invented the track saw, right? In 1962, they were the first manufacturer to come up with this particular product, and then it has been copied many times by many different manufacturers since then. This track saw has many features. I'll let you dive into it, but one of the ones that I particularly like the most on this saw is the easeability of changing that blade. You want to show how we
Correct.
get into doing all that stuff?
Correct. So it's very easy, as you mentioned, to swap out the blade. I would say all the competitors have a circle hole
with that
over
little
here
Allen
where you take
access.
Allen key.
Yeah.
You know, you will turn it around. You will push your blade, you know, down.
Yep. Lock it in
out,
place. Yep.
You know, get it back in, and then it's
cumbersome.
Yes. So Mafell, it's very simple. It's very easy. You will just, with one hand, pretty much you can do it. You know, you will push the button, pull this handle up, and then it cracks open.
All right, so let's just show that again here. The button's on top here. So you'll push the button, pull the lever at the same time, and then that door pops open, and you have ease of access right to that blade.
Correct. And for two reasons. One of the reasons is, you know, it's easier to exchange the blades, safer and everything. It's very easy. And the other one is for the dust extraction, to collect all the dust. Because Mafell created these channels over here. You know, when you close it, it's enclosed. It's fully enclosed. You push it down. Now if you connect your hose, it will
So what we're talking about here is if you're on some of the other competitors, this area right here, you know, that's open all the time. So there's areas where you would get in to change the blade is open, right? That allows poor dust collection. and then also down here on the bottom where the splinter guard is,
Correct.
it's a little bit different, so it allows better dust collection.
So it is magnesium die casting, which makes it a light, about 10 pounds. It's a very light one, magnesium die casting. It has a powerful motor, 13.5 amp Cuprix motor. So what Cuprix stands for, it's like, as I mentioned earlier, we do in-house winding of the motors. So we add about 30% more copper winding on the motors. So that lasts longer, you know, they have a longer lifespan, and they're powerful, very powerful motors. Some of the cool features, it's like, it's the, if you want to bevel it, you know, tilt it, the tilting lock. Most competitors have it on both sides where you will unlock it and lock it. In this case, Mafell has only on one side. You know, you will unlock it, set your angle, let's say 30 degrees. You will lock it, and then you don't have to go back here and lock this one. So what happens in most cases is like when you have to lock on both sides, you might
Get a little bit
just
of twist.
a little bit of a twist where you half inch, maybe millimeter, whatever
Yeah,
it
half
is.
a millimeter or
But
something.
you know, you're not in the straight line. And over here, as you can see, underneath it, the channel runs and locks.
Right, so there's a
both
bar
sides.
that runs
I don't
across.
know if it's visible for the audience, you know, but
You have a bar that
lock
goes
bar
across,
goes across,
and one
it
screw
locks,
locks
yes.
both sides.
So you can push it out. It goes, the angle is to 45 degrees, but sometimes you require a little more tilting, so you can push it out to 48 degrees or -1 on the back. So you can
Negative
go back,
one.
-1, exactly. It has a pre-score cut function where you do, let's say if you work on a Melamy, you don't need the wood chips, you know, the splinters in it, so you want to have your pre-score cut. And it's very simple, as you can see over here. You know, you will push it up, and that shifts the blade. They always said, Mafell, you know, tin of a hair tin, the blade goes
Just
a
a
little
couple
bit to the sides.
thousandths off.
Yes, yes, there's a couple thousandths off, and it will make a first cut 2.5 millimeter, you know, pre-scored cut, and then if you go set it back at whatever depth,
It'll go to your depth.
It goes to your depth, exactly. And the depth adjustment, it's also very simple. You know, the depth, you will adjust it up here, whatever depth it needs. You know, it locks itself in. It has the lock on it, so it doesn't move. Now, important thing to understand is that we have it on the track and off the track. So you will turn this red button, you know, it's on the track.
Compensate for
And
thickness.
this is off the track. So
And that's
it's different because you lose a couple
Right, and that's
millimeters.
compensating for your proprietary track, right? Because your track is a little bit different, right, than
Correct.
most of your competitors.
Most of our competitors, it's very different.
Your alignment is different, right? Because you use a solid bar one that
Yes.
and makes it which makes these rigid straight when you put that on there.
Correct.
But you're not getting that groove that you get on your competitors' tracks.
No.
You're only using this thin guide on the side here.
Yes,
So
sir.
it's a little bit
It
different.
has a groove over here. They will just set it in here. And it's very easy. And you can see now, you know, it's on the track.
But as I mentioned, competitors, you took care of that too, right?
We did, actually, because we have many customers from the competitors that heard about this MT55 track saw, and they will come to us and you know, ask us, show us the differences. What makes you better than, you know, the competitors? And we always say, you know, the competitors make also great tools, not that they're bad, but we have just some options they don't have. So Mafell, it's about innovations, and we have options they don't have. Over here on this track, if you see this green line, it's green up here. So, and if you remove these 4 screws, you can add it on the competitors' tracks. For example, the green guys from our neighborhood, Festool, because we had a lot of customers that wanted to get to know this track saw. So it works on, because most of the time it's like, oh yeah, I like the track saw, but now I have to buy so many tracks. It's a lot of money, and Mafell thought ahead of that because we knew eventually that.
I think there's about 5 or 6 manufacturers that make that
correct.
same pattern.
Same
so
pattern.
It's Festool, Craig, Wen even.
Yes.
They all have the same
Yes.
track pattern.
So that's why we did that, so they don't have to invest any money, additional money in purchasing it. Over here, if you can see on the red, it's where your blade it's gonna hit. So where you identify your line. Let's say if you tilt it to whatever angle, that's moving with it.
Right. So it's compensating for the tilt and giving
Correct.
you an
So
accurate.
It gives you accuracy at all times to know, okay.
Well, that's interesting. As you show that to me, if you're running on your track, how does it compensate? In other words, if I'm using your track and I'm using the red, right? That's my cut line.
Yes, yes.
So do I need to do anything if I wanted to do a 45-degree cut and I want that right on that line? How do I compensate for the tractor?
So if you will have it on the track, and let's say now you go at 45, you mentioned. If you move to 45, now you can see it's not hitting you don't have to follow this one. You will follow.
Right, so I'm not following, on a 45-degree cut, I'm not following the track here.
Correct.
I'm
So
using
you will
the line there.
Correct, to identify where your blade it's going to hit.
Okay.
So that's pretty much it about this track saw. We talked about the most features that you can have. It's really nice.
Now this is the 55, right?
Yes.
And then we
correct.
have, and we'll show that next, right? The 85.
K85.
The
It's
K85.
also that we have. It's a bigger one. I know the competitors have it to 75 mil out here on the U.S. market, which is not quite enough. So Mafell has the K85, which gives you additional 10 millimeters of cutting depth, which is enough on this market. And that one, it's the K85. It's in between. It's a tool in between. Cabinet maker, custom furniture maker.
It's
whatever.
good for cutting slabs.
And also a lot of timber framers.
Timber
So it's
framers.
a tool that has
little
goes both
ways,
directions.
yeah. Yeah, because like even here, when we cut a slab, we're 3 inches thick.
Yes.
That's the saw you're going to want to
Yes.
use.
And the K85, telling you, it's a very powerful motor. It cuts pretty much to any.
Right. The K85
materials
looks
needs.
almost identical. The features are exactly the same as this for the most part. It's just a bigger diameter blade.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
I mean, all the features there. Runs on both tracks, right? Let's move into probably my favorite track saw, and the one that I think they're going to want to see the most.
KSS 40.
Let's bring out the 40.
Let's move to KSS 40.
Let us get set up for the KSS 40.
All right.
This is one that you got to see. We're going to now talk about the K85 track saw. This is the big boy, great for cutting slabs. This has got a cut depth of 3 7/16. Yeah, 3 7/16.
It's a beast. It's a very powerful tool.
This
in
motor
size range.
is what?
Curic's motor with
17 amp.
Yes.
17 amp motor.
17 amp motor. It's a very powerful. It's a beast. Like you mentioned, it cuts pretty much to any material.
This is cutting 3 7/16, and it's doing it in one pass, right?
in one pass.
Yeah,
Correct,
one pass.
correct.
Which that just tells you how much is inside that 17 amp Cuprix motor.
So I will say, we talked earlier about the MT55. It has very similar features. With this one, you can also plunge into material. I'm going to show you. We have the safeguard over here. Usually people will lift it up with your hand and then go into the material. With Mafell, we want you to be free to keep your fingers. And with the push of a thumb over here, you can lift it up. And there's also a riving knife. The riving knife, it's very important once you make your cut into the wood, so it doesn't
pinch
onto your
pinching.
blade and start to having kickbacks. So the riving knife also retrieves in. For example, if you need to
Plunge.
plunge in, as you can see, the Yeah, I'm gonna lift it all the way up. So now you will be ready, to plunge into the materials. It tilts to 60 degrees, while all the competitors go to 45. This one you can actually tilt to 60 degrees, as you can see. It looks big, but it's not heavy because, again, of the magnesium die casting. It's about 16 pounds.
16 pounds.
So in this category, I know there's some with a 75 mil cutting depth, which is not quite enough for the U.S. market.
I think, too, the motor size comes into big play, because even on the 75, you might be able to cut with that, but sometimes that motor binds down, doesn't have enough behind it.
This one, it will cut to any material. Recently, we cut it. One of our customers wanted to cut, and he brought out his own material. He's like, it's a white oak, it's a concrete. I want you to cut on this one. And I gave him the tool. I said, you try it out yourself. He made a cut in one pass. His jaw dropped. He couldn't believe it.
In the sustainer, with this, we get what?
In the sustainer, you receive the parallel fence. So the parallel fence, which you can put on either side, depends where you need the support from.
So it's dual-handed. You go either side.
So either side, you can also flip it. On this one, is it as a guider, like if you want to guide along your material edge, or if you turn it the other way, of course you can. It's against the edge if you want to run it against the edge. But this is if you want to run it
right as an edge guide.
Edge guide, exactly. And then we have also the dust bag that comes with it.
Now this will also hook to a standard,
and
the standard
another
dust.
thing, you can add this to this cross-cutting system. Now it's very
But this is not in the sustainer though, right?
That's not
this
in
is
the
an add-on.
sustainer. That's an add-on.
Right.
I don't know if everybody's familiar with the cross-cutting system. I know that at some trade shows that I have attended, many of the customers that came to our booth, they were like, oh, you just copied that from your competitors. It looks like, same as theirs, like you. And then we have to explain them, no, we didn't copy nobody. Mafell, it's all about inventation. And when we were the inventors of this cross-cutting system. So we had a pattern for 15 years. It's the maximum that you can have on the European market. And after 15 years, once it expired, a day later, one of our competitors copied this system. What it does, it's for angle, if you need angle cuts. Let's say here, now it's at the 0. The pin on the right side, one move, it's
solid.
And the other pin, you can move it up to 50 degrees, and on the bottom to 60 it goes.
And you have preset detents in there for all the common angles, 45, 22 and a half.
Yes, I'm going to show that in the video where it's visible. So once you set it, let's say we set it at, again, 22 and a half. And then what we will do, you will push this pin against
and now you
the
have
other
your
one,
angle.
and then this is your 22 and a half angle. How it works, it's where you add tool to it. So the tool is fixed. And now at whatever angles, let's say 45 degrees, that first pin locks it in. And this will be your angle for the cut.
Is
and
the 85 the only one that works on this cutting system?
No, we have the smaller ones as well. The K. We start with the KSS 40, then we have the K50, an MT55, K65.
But for each of the track saws, you need a individual.
We have a large and a small.
No, but it does the same track work for all three saws, or do you need a separate track for each saw?
So, no, it works except the KSS40, obviously.
The 40
and
has its own.
MT55 cannot work on this track, but the K85, K65, K55, all the smaller ones, you know, everything fits.
So
on this.
55, 65, and 85 can all work on this system.
Yes, sir.
The what will be next will be the 45, and the 45 has its own.
We don't have the 45. The KSS40 has its
Oh,
own.
I'm sorry.
Because it's a smaller tool.
Right, the 40.
It has its own.
The KSS.
But then we go to the K85 where you can have it as a cross-cutting. And it's also important to mention that all of these tools come in a corded and cordless version. So,
right.
for example, the K85, you will have two batteries attached to it,
and these all are various speed too.
yes, where you can, depends on what material you work on. You know, you will add these, change the speeds over here, and very powerful motor, like we mentioned it earlier, 17 amps, Cuprex with extra winding, and this is really in that category range. This is the beast. This is the best out there on the market that you can buy. And I know that all of our customers are very satisfied once they have
Blade
this.
changing on this is how?
Blade changing, it's actually over here where you will, with the push of the button lever, you know, you will take your Allen key, open it up, take it out, and replace it. It's not like
with the trapdoor.
With the MT55, where you just open it.
And this will go from 0 to 60, and you can have a cutting depth on this. We said was 3 7/16. So you're cutting through 3 1/4, no problem, all day long.
You know, if there's somebody out there that had issues with cutting thick materials and going through like white oak,
yes,
you know, and nothing was out there, this will solve their problem.
So this is the beast, or the
It
smaller
is.
beast, because
It
technically you have a bigger beast.
We technically have a bigger beast, but that's
this
for
is,
the timber
for the
framing industry.
woodworkers, this is the beast.
This is the beast. Like if they come, this is the most powerful and the cleanest cuts and the precise cuts that they can achieve with the K85.
Now we're going to move on to
Now we're going to go to the KSS40 that you mentioned earlier with the smaller version. I'm going to show you the cross-cutting system on there with a smaller track.
Smaller track. This is our last tool for this segment. This is the DDF40, right?
Correct.
This is, I think, a very unique tool, right? Nobody else has this.
No. The dual Dowler, definitely not, especially the portable one. So Mafell, the first one that we had was the DD40P that came out in 2001. So that was the first portable dual Dowler system that you can carry around and do the work. And this one came out in 2018. It's an upgraded version. It's I would say with the dowels, that's the best system to work when you connect wood. The dowels, it's the precision and the stability and everything. It's better than if you use biscuits or some other, because it stays right into place, while the biscuits, they
can slide
around. Exactly.
Now, we can get anywhere from 1/8 inch cutters for this up to 1/2 inch, right? So we can go 1/8, 1/4, 5/16, so all the common sizes.
Correct.
Up to 1/2 inch thick. It does use two cutters at the same time, and they are spaced 32 millimeters, or about 1 1/4 inches apart from each other.
Correct.
It's very similar to some of the other systems like this, right? That you have some indent pins here that you can set. So if you are bringing your material to it, you have an exact location that you can reproduce accurately each time. And that it's the same dimension coming from left or from right. It's that same dimension center to center, and you have the pin to set that up for you. The fence, right, on this can rotate from 0 to
90. So it's ideal flat base for joining cabinets and shelves. So you can do it on both sides. If you said, you can tilt it to 90 degrees, the straight ones. And if you have it,
you can go 45 or whatever.
We also have a jig, then you could go and plunge in from the top, making you holes. You have two that come out. You can remove if you want to work with
Only
one.
one,
You know,
yeah.
one, it's you can remove it.
You also have the center line function too here in the center if you want to put multiples going down a run, right?
Yes, yes. So we have that attachment that you can add it onto here, onto our jig. This is the jig. If somebody has a...
Now this is not in the sustainer, this is an add-on.
No, this is
right.
an accessory kit, but let's say if you have a long board and you need multiple, then you will add the jig and clamp it in here, and then go from one point to the
Right,
other.
so we would have
So,
to set this up for the
correct. And
for
we
the
have
material.
also extension where you can extend it.
So this would be great for a shelf pin locator or
correct.
you
So
know.
I've been to a lot of shops around here, and they will tell me, okay, I have the domino, I have the lamello, and,
right.
you know, and stuff like that. In on the European market, I will say in Germany, it's very common to see all of these three tools
In the same shop.
in the same shop, in the same cabinet shop. It's because if you ask them, they will tell you it depends on what kind of project they're doing, what they're building, and you know they swap it out.
Right, so this would be really good for like if you're putting face frames on a cabinet, you want to guarantee your alignment. You might want to use this in the beginning. That'll give you a guaranteed
I guarantee
placement, and then you could maybe accessorize that with lamellos so that they snap on,
Yeah.
and you have a guaranteed location for it that's going to go back
Correct.
exactly where you thought
This
you
is
wanted.
very, very accurate. So we articulate it in Germany. So if anything goes wrong over here, we will ship it to Germany to articulate it, to make sure it's to the point. And I met a couple of guys, custom furniture makers, you know, that they have all three of the stools, but when it comes to precision, you know, on point, they prefer this one. And also with the dowels, you know, dowels you can pretty much buy them anywhere. Some of them make them in their own shop, so the price it's up to you where you want to.
Right, so
shop for the
you're
dowels.
not tied to a
No.
brand where
No,
with
like with some
some of the other
competitors.
competitors you have to you're locked in on the domino or the
Correct,
lamello. You're
correct.
locked into their product.
It has a 900 watt, very powerful motor. You know, it runs very smooth. It's a
This
nice-
version came out in 2018, right?
In 2018, correct. And it's only corded, like we said. We don't have it cordless. Unique tool with a lot of accessories over here.
Now the drilling depth on this is I think 1 9/16 inches of depth, right? So that's
That's
how far
correct.
we can go in. Is there a stop system for? Oh, there is. There's a stop system
Yes,
on
we
the
have
side.
it. We have it here on the side, as you see over here. The stop system, where you want to stop, you can adjust it. You know, as you see over here. You move it further. It's very easy to adjust it. You can also hook it up to
The
a
standard,
vacuum system.
right? A standard
Yeah.
vacuum hose, 1/16 diameter vacuum
Correct,
hose.
you know. And also, what comes in the sustainer, it's the anti-slip mat.
For being able to
Not to slip once
you start doing your.
you know, once you start your drilling, so it doesn't slip around. And
For the height adjustment, for the down, if I wanted to,
yes, it's also
so if I wanted to get
So-
it into the center of that board, we can set that
correct.
dimension.
So you can, as you see now, it doesn't fit. But over here, if you unlock it and turn on this knob, you know, here you can
Get that to be an exact
adjust exactly and lock it in. Now you're at the
proper height for that.
proper height for that, and it's adjustable. Like I said, I'm gonna open it up over here, and as you see, if I turn the knob, it will move up.
So you can put 3-4 inch or 3-inch board in there,
Correct.
no problem.
And then also with this one, we can lay it flat if you need to do it from above on the materials.
What are some of the other accessories that you're getting? So you're going to get 2 boxes of dowels, right? That come
Correct.
in the box.
Correct.
We get. Is that for blowing out the dust?
For fluid that you will put in to put on the rails over here, so they move
For the
smoother
oil.
For the oil, correct.
Okay. We have here. What do we got here?
Those will be the spacers that you will use in between materials.
So it just allows you to have a quick reference, right?
Correct. So reference, if you go, you put your point.
If you want them to be 200 millimeters apart,
exactly,
you can set
and
that.
then you will just
Shift.
move on, shift, and do it that way. It's also a smaller one. And this one we have to cut out.
Okay. We don't know what that one is.
This is if you want to work with. I'm joking. This is if you want to work just with the
Single hole.
single hole, correct. And here you have these pins, as you see.
For alignment.
Exactly. And when I mentioned to you earlier, you can remove it and work with, and
that's
this
for the
attachment
one hole.
For exactly, to do it for one
For
hole.
one
so
hole.
you have the perfect accuracy, and also with these two pins.
And then the Allen key just for adjustment.
Yes, the Allen key that we use for adjustments. And there should be also some other stoppers that are not in this box, but they're red, like stoppers that you can attach. They're on various sizes that you can attach on the size over here, and
So you can keep it accurate.
Yeah, accuracy and spacements that you need.
So in the box, you'll get 8, 10, and 12-inch diameter bits, which is awesome. I guess that's it, right, on this one?
On this one, it's a very nice tool to have in the shop, especially if you're building cabinets and shelves. This will be the perfect tool. If you need to take it to the job site, like I know many cabinet shops, they will have it in the shop on the CNC machine and stuff. But when it comes to customer furniture making or kitchen cabinets and things like that, you can carry it with you to the job site and do it right there on the job, on the spot.
It's awesome. The Mafell DDF40 dual doweler system, and it is a system.
It is.
This right here that we're going to show you next is the KSS40 battery operated track saw.
Correct.
To me, I think this is a game changer for a lot of guys that are breaking down plywood and boards like that, because everything fits in this sustainer.
In this sustainer.
So we'll open this up for you here. In this sustainer, you're going to get your battery, you're going to get your bag, but here's where it gets nuts. You're going to get your cross-cut sled fitting in the sustainer. You also have, on the battery-operated version, you have the charger and an additional battery. Just for the record, this is the battery-operated version. The corded version is the KSS 300. And that we actually have in stock. This one would drop ship to you right now, but here's the game changer. Look, this is your track right here. Fits in the sustainer. And there is your 59-inch track that fits in the sustainer. So, I mean, that's, to me, is nuts. I mean, I know a lot of the competitors of this size. It's a rigid track. You got to carry it around. It's awkward. It's bouncing around in the truck, or it's falling off the hooks. This is actually fitting in the sustainer. So I think for a lot of guys, that's a game changer as far as space in the shop and everything else.
Correct. This is so the KSS40. It's probably my favorite saw, because during my time at headquarters in Germany, I went to different departments, and one of the departments that I worked for a short while was the assembly line for the KSS40. So I built many of those, the corded one and cordless ones.
How long ago was that?
That was in 2020.
I just want to know, in case mine stops working, if it's from 220,
Okay,
I can blame it on you.
Okay.
Yeah, I can blame it on you.
So probably many U.S. customers already have a tool that I made myself over here in the U.S. market, and it's just an amazing tool. It's very light, even with the battery, with the battery pack.
What is that, 8 pounds, I think you said?
8 pounds.
8 pounds.
It's not heavy
with the
at
battery.
all. It's small, it's handy, and it's very common for pretty much any in-home renovation that you're doing. You mentioned for the flooring, it's an ideal tool.
And for breaking down
Perfect tool.
plywood.
For breaking down
yeah,
plywood,
This will also cut 1 inch and 9/16 in depth. So
Correct.
if you need to break down 2x4s or 2x10s, that'll do it for you.
That will do it for you, correct.
Yeah.
And it comes, they really say it's a saw 5-in-1. So this one comes also with a cross-cutting system. It's a smaller. So this cross-cutting system fits only on the KSS 40 or the KSS 300, which is our corded version. You know, where you can set up your angle. It's easy. You know, if you want a perfect straight angle, you know, you can cut it.
On a straight cut, this is cutting what, 11 and some change, almost 12 inches?
Almost, yes. Yes.
11 and 13/16, I think. So, I mean, you're breaking down 2x10s for sure.
For sure, you will do it. So you can also remove it. It's removable. Like on all our tools, you never have to put your fingers where the blade is. It's because you can cut it off very easy. For safety reasons, we have a
retractable guard.
Retractable guard, yes, that you push. And the riving knife also retracts in.
Spring loaded.
For reason, because it gives you option also to plunge into the materials. So you can use it as a plunge saw. Since this surface, it's very flat, as you can see, you know, you can turn it around and lay it flat. Let's say if you need to cut the trim boards, the doors underneath it, you can go under it and just do the cut. You know, it's a perfectly straight cut. A parallel fence comes in it where you can
use as an edge guide or a parallel fence, right?
Correct. As an edge guide or as a parallel fence.
Just by flipping it over.
Correct. You know, you can have it and then wherever you need it. One of the coolest features, I will say, it's these foldable, we call it the flexi sheen, flexi track that you just open it. As you can see, you roll it in. This is how it is. You know, you take it out of your sustainer. It has the rubbers on the bottom, and a stopper here at the beginning, where it really doesn't give you much moving around. In case you have to clamp it, you cannot clamp it directly onto the track because it will be in the way of your tool. But we have these accessories that come with it, you know, where you can just add it
and add a clamp
where you need it, and add a clamp onto that, and it will hold it in place.
So I'm sure a lot of people that are looking at this track right now, they're asking, I don't see a track.
Yes, they're probably wondering.
They don't see a track.
Like, how is it running? Like on
so it's unique because it's running on these perforated, equally spaced perforated grooves, which are fitting where on this?
So we have a grooves on here. So all you will have to do, you know, you lift it up, pull up your safeguard, and then you will need about 2 grooves to fit it in, and then
it guides
you have
through.
a perfect track.
Now that's on the flexi track. Does that also run on your standard track?
Yes. This
will run on the standard track
as well.
So if we had the standard, it'll run. If it's the same groove.
It will also work on this one as well. If you have it in the shop, it will work. But this one, it's handy. Everything fits in the sustainer as you saw it. You know, you can fold it up, put it in your sustainer. You have your cross-cutting as well. And a dust bag. It's also included if you need to
and the adapter is for?
And the adapter is for if you want to use a dust collection, like a vacuum, hook it up to it, then this will...
That allows you to get it off to an angle.
Or, as well, to get this bag out of your way. If it's too close to your hand, you can get it also out of your way. And you can attach also the hoses.
So in the cordless version, this is called the KSS 40, which is 40 millimeters of cut depth.
Correct. So KSS 40 stands like for the 40 millimeter. All of our tools, like expect the older ones, all of our tools with a number after it, after we name it, let's say K85, 85 stands for 85 millimeter cutting depth, 65, 55, and so on. That's what it
On the corded version, that's not true, though, right? We're still using the old naming system, which is the KSS 300.
Exactly. On the KSS 300, it's not True.
The accessories in the KSS 300 we don't have here is the same, except you don't get the batteries and charger, but you do get all the other
Correct.
accessories.
So if you purchase this one, like with batteries, the battery system, you get 2 batteries, a charger, the flexi guide, everything that you see on here will come in the case. You can also buy it
this track separate.
as a pure version. Pure means that you will just get the tool, because there's a lot of our customers out here
Already have the battery system.
Already have the battery system. So, but there's a catch. If you buy the pure, you won't get the flexi guide. So I think the best will be, unless they're customers that already have the flexi guide, then they will buy the pure. But other than that, I will just buy it.
So it's available in pure, which is no batteries, no flexi guide, and then the full kit, which is 2 batteries, charger, flexi guide, all next to the stand.
And also to mention that these batteries are long lasting and they charge very fast. So with 2 batteries, some people ask me, okay, is it gonna be enough time, for the other batteries to get charged before we have a fast charger included? So yes, your battery, you will still run on your first battery before
and the other one's done charging before that one's dead.
Yes. So this is one of my favorite tools.
It is mine too, because I think it's very lightweight. I think this is ideal for breaking down plywood, or if you got to cut a bunch of 2x4s, you're not having a saw. You can cut 2x4s all day long.
It's pretty much, let's say, example for hardwood flooring, like if guys install the hardwood flooring. So you know how hard it is sometimes to carry the materials, then all your tools, to get the job done. With this one, you replace pretty much, you don't need a meter saw.
Yeah.
It's gone out of the picture because you have the cross-cutting system already on the tool. And also replaces the table saw, as you have the foldable track that you can.
Right, especially if you're doing flooring, you could do a straight rip.
Exactly, like if people that do flooring, like on new construction, it's not a big deal. You can, leave dirt all over. But sometimes if you go into residential home that people live already in, and when they ask you, hey, can you please do all the cuts on the outside? That's a lot of work where people have to get outside.
Right, hook a dust extractor up to this thing, and you're making it really nice.
And you have everything at your workspace, so you pretty much don't leave your workstation as you install the flooring. And it's very handy. It's common for any in-home renovations. You can use it.
We're intentionally not giving pricing here in this video because the pricing is always subject to change, especially now in our current world scenario. So all of the pricing for these tools will be available on WTBwoodworking.com. Just go right down to on the homepage, go down to Mafell. You click there and we'll list everything. We are going to slowly start adding all the tools that even what we don't sell in-house, and like we mentioned earlier in the video, we'll drop ship them directly to you at no additional cost for the drop ship.
Yes, that's what we do. That's why we're here.
Lastly, I think we wanted to talk about a couple things about Mafell itself, right?
Yes. So, many people, you said many customers come over here and they don't know.
They say, who the hell is Mafell?
Who the hell is Mafell? What is Mafell? We never heard of them. Well, Mafell is one of the oldest power tool companies in the world. We've been around since 1899.
So we're 126 years old this year,
Mafell,
right?
it's 126 years old this year.
26 years older than their neighbor, just for the record.
Yes, and also important thing to mention, Mafell is just for the woodworking industry. So our power tools are for the woodworking industry, for the woodworkers.
Timber framers, anybody that's working with wood.
And our heritage is timber framing and carpentry machines, where Mafell doesn't have competitor at all on the market. So if any timber framers are watching your channel, they can come to you and get more information on timber framing tools, our specialty tools, the #1 out there on the market. And with the smaller tools as well, Mafell makes really great tools. We're a warehouse. Everything is built in our facility in Oberndorf am Neckar, which is about 70 kilometers south of Stuttgart. It's in Baden-Württemberg. It's a very big industry for even automotive. We have Mercedes, Porsche coming out of the same neighborhood, and then we also have Mafell, our neighbors, Green Neighbors, Festool, and Bosch as well. Everything comes from the same area. So lots of engineering in that area. Like I said, Mafell since 1899 around. We brought out the first portable carpentry machine in 1926. So that was the first ever machine out on the field. It was introduced by Mafell. Mafell stands for introduction. So whatever we bring out, it's well thought about. We take our time before we bring something out in the market.
You had said earlier, like on the Jigsaw, there was 7 or 8 years of prototyping and engineering, and we talk about revisions, many revisions of your saw before it's the saw that we started to see out on the field.
We're getting close now to 90% of the tools and everything else, and accessories and everything, it's made in-house. So that means we have it available at all time. During COVID, many of our competitors were struggling. The shelves were empty.
And you were still manufacturing.
And for Mafell, I think it was a very good time because we have a lot of competitors that came to us because the competitors were out of stock. So they came to us. Mafell had everything. That's a plus for Mafell since we make everything in Germany. Everything is in-house. All quality materials are used. There's nothing cheap. We don't buy from other countries, let's say from China, from India.
So Mafell's been manufacturing 126 plus years. How long has Mafell been in the United States?
We've been present here in the United States for the past 25 years, I would say. And we outgrew, we grew, so we sell a lot over here. We had one dealer in the past that we purchased, Timberwolf Tools, which is owned now by Mafell. But we had only one dealer. He was doing a great work for us for 25 years. They sold a lot of machines. Our customer base grew, like on the West Coast, East Coast, all over the United States. So, and Mafell shifted the focus now on the U.S. market because we have customers over here, and we want to show a lot more presence. Be there, attend different shows, support our dealers, grow the dealer network, and be there for our customers. Where we can have the best customer service on the market.
And currently, your rollout method, or whatever way you want to describe it, but you're trying to at least get one dealer in every state right now, right?
Correct. So we're not chasing to have 5, 6, 7 dealers in a state. One dealer a state, we're fine with it. We would like to work with the small family-owned businesses. In the cases like if you go to Home Depot, not everybody is expert
well
on
versed
all
on
the
their tools
over there. When I come to your store, all your products in and out. Even if I wake you up on the phone, out of sleep, you will say, all the specifications. So that's why Mafell, it's also a family-owned business. We have about 300 plus employees worldwide, so representing. So I will say a lot smaller than the competitors, but our production lines, I will add also that we don't have any robots. Like Mafell, it's all about quality. So we don't have
all
robots.
People putting
we
everything.
could have more production. Let's say bring hundreds of these, couple hundreds of these a day, but then the quality won't be that much.
Right. So you have physical people assembling and
Correct.
quality checking each step down the line.
We have a part is being made in house. So before it gets on the assembly line, it's checked at least 3 times before that. So by the person that made the parts, he inspects it. If it's good, then it goes to the inspection, and then comes to the assembly line, where it gets inspected again by the assembler. So I will take every part exactly. And Mafell philosophy was they always told us, don't rush. We don't want you to, don't worry about
quality over quantity.
We want quantity. Mafell, it's about all quantity. So, and we have great people at the assembly lines. We really have personnel that works there for 20, 30, 40 years. People don't just quit at Mafell. They don't leave. It's a great
environment
to work for, with great leaders and great leadership in-house.
Well, I think that's our talk today on Mafell. Maid, thanks for coming out and hanging out.
Much. I'm looking forward
2
to
days
coming
with you has
again.
been awesome. Again, all the products you've seen here today, we currently already have on our website. We're going to start adding all the rest. That stuff can be drop shipped to you, or you can have it shipped to the store and pick up here, whatever you like to do. If you like this series of videos that we're doing, give us a comment or a shout out. What would you like to see next? Which brand would you like to see us do next? If there's something we didn't cover here that you'd like to have us cover, I'm sure I can convince them to come back and we can have a talk about that particular tool or tools. As always, if you like this series, please, subscribe, like, and, all the other things that you're supposed to do to push a video through. And we'll catch you on the next one.
All right, bye-bye.